Hey guys, so today we're going to apply the change of base formula. When I say change of base, what I'm talking about is this right here. We say that the log base b of a is equal to some log base c of a over that same log base c of b. What that means is this. Whatever my b is here is going to be in my b here. And whatever my a is going to be the input of my log function here. And we can choose any c we want here, so long as the c is also the base of the numerator and the denominator logarithm. It can be anything we want. We could plug in 1, we could plug in 2, we could plug in 3, the list goes on. It could be anything. So let's look at this. Log base 5 of 39. What that means is we can write this as some log base something of 39. Remember, because a would be the 39 here. And then that means it's going to be the input of my logarithm in the numerator. So it's a log base something of 39 over log base something of 5. And these two bases have to be the same in my logarithm. But we see that the directions here say rewrite the following using only common logarithms. And if you remember what a common logarithm is, a common logarithm is just the idea log base 10 of, let's say, x, we can just rewrite as log of x. So a common logarithm is really a logarithm with base 10. One of the reasons why a common logarithm is so nice is because we can just click the log button on your calculator located right here on the screen. Depending on what type of calculator you have, it may be in a different place, but this is typical for TI or Casios. And those log buttons are referring to the common logarithm of having base 10. It's really nice and easy to calculate. So since we need to rewrite this using common logarithms, that means our base needs to be 10. But since base 10 can be just written as log, we can just write this as log of 39 over log of 5. So let's look at a couple more examples. All right, so here's a couple more examples. Remember, common logarithms is base 10. And let's look at this example. We have ln of 17. Now, you may be wondering, well, there's no base here. But remember, there's one more rule to keep in mind. When I have log base e of some number x, that's like the same as saying the natural log of x. So when I'm referring to natural logarithms, this is the idea that I'm thinking of here. So let's write this down. Natural logarithms. So when this says ln of 17, what this really means is log base e of 17. So keeping that in mind, I now can apply my change of base formula. I can say that this is log, and remember it's common, so it's going to be log base 10. Log base 10 of 17 over log base 10 of my base, which is e. And instead of writing it out as log base 10, you may have figured out that you can just write it as log of 17. When you consider this rule up here, that log base 10 can be just log, then we can write it also as log e in the bottom. So this is going to be my answer here. And then lastly, we need to rewrite this using only natural logarithms though. So let's keep in mind natural logarithm, that is a log base e. Or you can think of natural logarithms as ln. So ln of x equals log base e of x. Let's rewrite this using only natural logarithms. I can write this as log base something of 17 over log base that same something of 6. And we need to write it as a natural logarithm though, so our base that we have to choose is e. we have to make sure that we write e as the same base in both logarithms. This rule only works when my bases are the same, as we talked about up here. So I need to make sure that I don't just put e on top and 10 on the bottom. I can put e up top and e on the bottom, and it works. So we have log base e of 17 over log base e of 6. Keep in mind, log base e of x, you can just rewrite it as ln of x. We can write this as ln of 17 over ln of 6. And so this is, in fact, equal to this. Now, there's one thing to point out here that I just want to mention. This is not the only possible answer. It is when we're only trying to rewrite it as natural logarithms. But for example, log of 17 over log of 6 would actually get you back the same exact answer in your calculator. And that's because in my change of base formula, all we need is for my bases to be the same in the logarithms for this formula to work. So it doesn't matter what you use, you just need to make sure you're using one that's convenient to you or using one that the problem is asking for.